Hello students, welcome back to Mathfi's Java programming tutorials. In this video, I'll discuss equals, ignore case and compare to methods of string class. Let's have a look at the contents. We'll see instance methods of string class and equals, not equal, greater than, less than operators on string objects, and the three methods syntax would be discussed, and then practice exercise. We know these many methods we'll be discussing, but today in this video, we'll discuss 7th, 8th, 9th. The operators equals to, greater than, less than, not equal to work well with primitive data types, but not with string objects. Equality can be used on string literals, but not the other way of object creation. And compareTo method checks greater than, less than, equality also. Now let's understand a bit about string objects and double equal to operator. Double equal to operator compares the address only. What does it do? Compares the address. Lesson 59 and 61, I have discussed creating objects, different ways of creating string objects. Now, first way is string as a literal. Double equals to works with literal. Why and how? Let's see. String S1 is equal to male. In the stack, S1 is created and male is stored in heap area, that to string constant pool, which we know already. String S3 is also male. Immediately stack will have S3, but it also points at male, which is already stored in string constant pool. That means S1 and S3, both of them have the same memory address. So, equality operator compares and only address. And if I say S1 double equals to S3, returns true, because both the objects are pointing at the same memory address. Whereas the next type, string as an object using new operator, which will create S4 in heap area as well as in string constant pool. But S4 is pointing at Java, which is in heap. When we create S5, it also is created in the heap area, and S5 is pointing at the second Java in the heap area. Both the addresses are not the same. So, if at all we use, if S4 double equals to S5, it returns false, although the contents are Java only, because double equals to checks the address. S4 is pointing at some other address and S5 is pointing at some other address. Both the addresses are not same, so it returns false. Here is the need to use equals ignore case or compareTo methods. Now third way also requires equals ignore case and all these three methods, that is string from a character array, a new address is created, and input from user also requires equals ignore case and compareTo methods. Not only that, string as a literal, even if we declare as a literal, we can use all the methods, three methods. No need of using only double equals to. So as a programmer, we better use these three methods instead of the operators. Now let's see the syntax of these three methods. There are two objects in the memory, literals, but we are understanding with the help of literals all these three methods. A is Java, B is Java but in capitals, all of them in capitals. Now Boolean equals string. By looking at the method header only, we understand equals is the method, string is the parameter, and returns Boolean. All of them are instance methods. So A dot equals, B dot equals, something like that we have to call. This equals method is case sensitive. Then we can use this Boolean x is equal to A dot equals Java. A has Java and we are sending a parameter that to a string Java. Both of them are equal, so it returns true. Second example is Boolean x1 equals to A dot equals B. B has all capitals, but A does not have all of them capitals, so returns false. Case sensitive. This particular method we use in password check. We cannot check already existing login ID is there. Somebody entered a password to enter their mail ID and we are checking. In that case, equals method we use. Input we have taken. And in that case, we cannot use the next method equals ignore case. Why? Because ignore case is not case sensitive, but we must have a password check case sensitive. Now equals ignore case example is Boolean x2 equals to A dot equals ignore case B returns true. A is Java, J capital. B is all capitals Java, still it returns true. Then the third one is compareTo method. Before understanding compareTo, we must recall A to Z. Unicode values of A to Z are 65 to 90 and lowercase a to z is 97 to 122. Depending on these Unicode values only, compareTo method returns either 0 or less than 0 or greater than 0. Integer it returns and string it takes as a parameter. Now, int y equals to a dot compareTo Java. A has Java. J minus J internally deducts the values. Capital J minus capital J, which is passed as a parameter. Then A minus A, 0. V minus V, 0. A minus A, 0. Returns 0. If it returns 0, as a programmer, we must understand both the strings are same because the program or compareTo method is written in such a way. Then the next one is int some z is equal to a dot compareTo b. A is the first object from where compareTo method is used. So first object minus the parameter b objects, the contents of A minus B happens here. So A object, if we examine, J capital Java is there. B, J capital, but AVA also capitals. So J minus J is 0. As long as it returns 0, this function works. But next character is lowercase a in the A object. Lowercase a 97 is the Unicode value and the second character of B object is capital A, that is 65. 97 minus 65 is greater than 0, whatever it may be. Then we understand in terms of Unicode, first object is greater than the second object. First is A here, A dot compareTo B. But in the next example, if you see, int z1 is equal to b dot compareTo a. B should be compared. B is the first object now. So B minus A happens. So B has J and A has J as their first characters. 0 is returned. But B has the second character is capital A, that is 65. Whereas in A, lowercase a, 65 minus 97 is in negative. It is minus 32 actually the difference. If they are, both of them are same characters. So less than 0. By looking at this, we understand B is a smaller string in terms of Unicode than A. Okay, let's see these three methods in the Java environment. Okay, equals and equals ignore case. We have a string literal and we use double equals to sign whether it works or not, it works. But string as an object does not work and reading input does not work. In these two cases, we must use equals or equals ignore case. So let's create three string literals. For example, string s1 is equal to Java, again s2 Java, s3 is Java. Here, if I say if at all s1 double equals to s2, since double equals to returns true or false, double equals to is a relational operator. So we can use like this, and then in that case we say System.out.println equal, else we say not equal. Okay, let's execute this program and see whether it returns s1 equals to s2, Java, Java, true, equal, it must return. So if I execute the program, returns equal. Fine. That means double equals to operator is working on string literals. If we say s1 double equals to s3, they are not equal, so it must give not, because we have given that message. So it must give not. Fine, we understood. Now we'll go back to the same program and we try to create a string as an object and check whether double equals to sign works or not. And we know for sure it does not work. Here, let's suppose we have created three strings using new operator. Double equals to does not work with this. Why? Because in the heap area, three different memory areas are occupied by S4, S5 and S6. Let's cut this and paste over here and try to check, but not S1 and S5, but S4 and S5. So S4, S5 double equals to operator, we are saying Java, Java, it must return equal, but it does not, because string address are different in the heap area. Control K and execute the program. S4 and S5 now we are comparing. Execute the program. Not, because they are in different areas. So what we must use s4 dot equals. With the strings we use this particular method. And equals method, it returns boolean and if takes boolean. So s4 dot equals s5, if it returns true, then equal, otherwise not equal. Let's give proper message, not equal. So S4 dot equals returns true or false. If true, equal will be displayed. If false, not equal will be displayed. So now what should it display? Equal. S4 and S5. Control K and execute this program. Equal it is saying because S4 and S5 are equal in terms of the contents. So equals method is very important. If we say S4 and S6, are they equal? We are not using case sensitive one. Equals ignore case we are not using. So Java is lowercase everything. Here J capital Java, it must display not equal. S4 object is being compared with S6 object. Okay, control K, it must say not equal. Displays not equal. So is this clear till here? Now what we want to do is we want to take input, reading input from user. And also here, if we say equals ignore case, see, first word is lowercase, second word onwards, each word is uppercase. We must follow this. Now S4 is Java, all lowercase, S6 is J capital Java, and equals ignore case. No need of worrying about case. In that case, it displays equal. Okay, control K and execute. Equal. It is displaying equal. Now reading input double equals to sign does not work. So let's take two strings. Enter string 1 to check equality. S7 is equal to SC dot next line. SIte object next line. String 2. Over here, we want to copy paste the same thing. Control X, and with the input also we want to check S7 double equals to S8 or not. This does not work with input. We must use equals or equals ignore case. So S7 double equals to S8. Let's check this. S7 and S8 are given by the user. They are created in the heap area. Control K, S7 double equals to extra bracket is here. Control K, close this. So enter string 1 AA. AA. It is saying not equal because we must use either equals or equals ignore case. So S7 dot equals or equals ignore case equals S8, extra bracket is required, control K. In that case, it displays equal if we give equal inputs. So some first string, second string, it is saying equal. So only in case of string literal, we may use double equals to sign, but not anywhere else. But as a programmer, we better use equals ignore case methods for checking equality. Now compareTo method. Read two strings, display first string is equal or less than or greater than the second one. So we are writing code program to compare two strings. Enter string 1, S1 is read. Enter string 2, S2 is read. And S1 dot compare to S2 returns either 0 or less than 0 or greater than 0. 0 means both the strings are equal. Less than 0 means first string is smaller, and greater than 0 means first string is greater. So this x we need to compare. X is an integer. So double equals to works with x, that is integer, primitive data type. So what do we write? We write simple code. If x double equals to 0, both the strings are equal, x less than, first string is smaller, else first string is greater. Control K and execute the program 3 times. So enter first string, both the inputs are same. In that case, it is saying both the strings are equal. Fine. Let's execute second time and see first string. Let's give AA and then AA. So in terms of the Unicode 65 and 97, so first string is smaller. Whereas if we give the other way around, that is lowercase first and then uppercase next. In that case, first string is greater in terms of Unicode value. Let us see a small program nationality check. Read nationality from user and display Indian or not. Case can be ignored. So, scanner class, enter nationality, some string A is equal to SC dot next. Over here, we'll write a code. If A dot equals ignore case Indian, A is the input from the user. If it is equivalent to Indian in capital or lowercase or anything, in that case we print Indian. Otherwise, we print not Indian. Okay, equals or equals ignore case we can use depending on the programmer's requirement. Fine, let's execute. Enter nationality Indian. We are giving in all lowercase. Okay, it is saying Indian. What if we give some other input? Let's suppose enter nationality, I said XYZ. In that case, not Indian. Now let's see a practice exercise here. Read Gmail ID from a user and check if it is abc123 at gmail.com or not. So no case sensitivity. Ignore case cannot be used. Now read a name and find it is equivalent to Shalini or not. Case can be ignored. Guess output. Then read two strings and display whether they are equal or not using compareTo method. Now read two strings and display smaller string using compareTo method. This is the practice exercise for you. Refer chapter 8 of Essentials of Computer Applications for further understanding and practice exercise. The next video is about 2 uppercase, 2 lowercase, starts with and ends with methods of string class. Thank you.